this news about Morph exploring the non-binary aspects of their lives,
like if you said, oh, like
mentioned a year ago. So I want to point out though that the X-Men that we've known, the ones that we have pretty much grown up with, have always been quote unquote woke. Because if we like try to define what woke means to a lot of these channels, it's just diversity and people talking about their lives and people being open about their sexuality. The X-Men have always done that. So let me show you here. This was the original lineup for the X-Men. 5 white people, 4 of them are men, with 1 woman who gets objectified all the time in these early comic books. I'm not passing judgment. Follow me on this. I'm not passing judgment. This is what the original series was. And it got compared as like a bootleg knockoff Fantastic Four. It didn't perform very well. And matter of fact, the X-Men as we know them today would not have been a thing had they not have gone woke. So imagine this is where the X-Men now, like they've lasted all these years as this team. And then all of a sudden they decided this was going to be the new lineup for the X-Men. Can you imagine what would happen if this change were to happen in 2024?
If you had that previous roster.
Yeah, so like imagine those like 5 characters we had before had existed all the way till now, and they decided, hey, we want to introduce a new team, and this was the team they introduced. What do you think they would be saying?
Well, I mean, if you had half a brain, you go, well, fuck, they look a bit cooler than the previous bunch.
Absolutely. But also, think about this. They introduced a black woman from Africa. This was in the 70s. This was like 75, okay. I believe. So they introduced a black woman from Africa, a Russian guy, a Canadian, a guy from Ireland, a Native American, a Japanese guy, and a German Catholic super religious character that looks like the devil. Could you imagine how their heads would explode if this were to happen today?
Yeah, I just realized Cockrum.
Yeah, Dave Cockrum, yes.
I thought they said Rub.
Could you? If they would make fun of that, they go, this guy Dave Cockrum decided to change these characters. Can you imagine the jokes they would make?
Cockrum, he must have been
I'm just telling you right now, if this change were to happen today, they would be calling them woke. But guess what? It didn't. This happened back in 1975. Okay? So they made all these changes, and guess what happened? The comic book started selling like crazy. X-Men became massively popular. The X-Men that we know from the 90s, the most popular version of that team was full of powerful female characters, powerful women. And they were very diverse. So this idea that all of a sudden Morph being non-binary makes the entire X-Men series woke and garbage trash ignores how woke the fucking series was from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the ones that we know now have been woke from the start. Ignoring that means that you're just making up things to get mad about. It's fake outrage. It's absolutely fake. There was a time the X-Men, and I guess you could still say that now, the X-Men themselves, and this is a more recent picture, but it kind of speaks to my point here. Some of the most popular women in comic books came from the X-Men. Like they were the most powerful characters. A lot of them were not straight. A lot of them were women of color. So this idea that the X-Men randomly went woke because of Morph is so fucking disingenuous. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to be mad at the X-Men for being diverse, you should be mad at them already. You should have been mad at them from the get-go. Acting mad now is just outrage clicks. It's all fake outrage. When I get on here and I have to deal with people coming in comments and saying this, that, and the other, and all this other bullshit, it's like, you do realize that the X-Men are the marginalized characters fighting against people that hate them because they're different. And now you have people in real life hating these characters because they're different. These people are the bad guys. They're the ones that the X-Men fight against. You cannot be fans of these characters and have that opinion. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.